Here we are then, episode 4 for HCG. Let's do this, Mike. Let's go for it.
Do it.
Right,
Me.
yeah.
I don't have anything to say.
You've always got stuff to say. Um, Basically, there was one big thing I want to chat about this week after we spoke about last week, which was to do with the Joy-Cons on a Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
It's recently come apparent. Now, I don't know if this is very recent, but it seems to be a lot of people are talking about it at the minute. But do you know the Joy-Con drift?
Yeah. We talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, when you're pushing the thumbsticks in on one of the Joy Cons, what it does is the pressure on the back of that this joystick, the thumbstick, it's pushing on the back of the case. Now, somebody had realised that if you squeeze the case together, and then when you're in the settings on your Nintendo Switch, you'll see that the little thing, the little crosshair doesn't move, so it kind of cues the Joy-Con, the drift problem. So it's up to you. You can put a bit of pressure in there or do whatever you want. But what they've said is if you open it up, you go to the back where the thumbstick is, and you put a thin piece of card, like the size of, like, it has to be quite rigid as well, so like a business card type thing, behind the thumbstick, yeah,
Yeah.
and then fasten it all back up. That pressure then obviously it's got enough pressure in there to stop it from moving again, so then it fixes the Joy-Con drift.
Yeah.
Now, it sounds so stupid that it's such a daft little thing, but it literally is. It's because those Joy Cons are so compact that obviously when you're pushing that all the time, it's just constantly putting that little bit of pressure on that bit of plastic on the back of the case all the time, and it's just slowly pushing it away and giving it a bit of a bow on the back, and
Yeah.
that's what they reckon's causing it now. So hopefully that will have fixed it. But on the other side of this is, I told you I bought those Hori Split Pad Pros,
Oh yeah.
the two
Yeah.
that look like kind of an Xbox controller split in half. I've been using those this week, and just trying to think what I've been playing on. So I've played on Monster Hunter Stories 2. That
Mhm.
was just out earlier in the week. I've played on some other like little twin stick shooter thing, and it's 10 times better. There's a couple of things like it doesn't hurt your hands. It's easier to hold. You can lay in bed and you don't feel like you're going to drop it on your face. For
Oh,
one,
okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah.
so they do work really really well. So that was just one daft little thing I wanted to mention at the start of this anyway, because I know we spoke about that last week. Um,
So basically, your call on that is that you can fix the drift, but don't bother go buy a better pad.
well, so your options are if you buy the Hori Split Pad Pro, I think I mentioned last week, you lose the gyro functionality. You'd also lose rumble, but let's be honest, I don't know if how many people have used the Nintendo Switch. The rumble on that, what they call HD rumble or whatever it is ridiculous. I've been sat there in bed, and I tell you what, my next door neighbour thinks me and my missus have probably got some crazy sex toy fetish or something, because that thing is powerful. it it vibrates for nothing half the time. You'd be just walking along, and every footstep's like. That's why you drop it on your face, because it's
Is
like
that how you wake
sitting
him?
on
Is
your
that how
hand.
you wake your missus up?
Well, hey, easy
Whack it
now,
on two player. Whack
easy
it on
now.
two player.
Well, when in Rome.
Love it.
So yeah, there is a way to. The little way to fix the Joy-Con drift is just by this little piece of cardboard. Now, there might be a little bit more of a better fix in there where you can start to form some bits of plastic or something like that and put that in there. I mean, you're talking the size of a one pence coin. That's the size of the cardboard you need that sits behind it. So
Yeah.
it's nothing major, but to be fair, if your Joy-Con is knackered, it's worth the gamble and just have a little go at it.
It's probably the same. A lot of people had the fix that if you recalibrated the Joy-Con, like
Hmm.
obviously that's thick, that tended to fix your problem, and then it would obviously get progressively worse again.
Yeah,
So
it
I
was
think,
just a
I
temporary
think,
fix, wasn't it? Though.
I think, yeah, well, because you are, if your joystick position is just basically bowing, so it's slightly moving over, then you're out of calibration. So you could recalibrate to fix it. But if you're not fixing the problem and you just ever all the time you're using it, you're incrementally adding more bow.
Yeah. And
You'd have to recalibrate every time.
the other thing people were mentioning was obviously using like a spray canister, like to blow out dust and stuff like that. Now the reason for that was as the controller started to bore, it was forming a lot of dust underneath, which obviously that also sets it off like out of line and stuff like that. So it will alleviate the problem briefly, but you're just going to collect dust under there again because that gap is
Yeah.
just it's still there or it's
There is
increasing.
there's a lot of repair videos and stuff on
Mhm.
them in general. I don't think they're particularly difficult to repair.
No, I just think the only reason I thought I'd mention it is because it seems to be it's kind of a big hype at the minute, and it seems to be this is actually repairing them rather than just a quick fix. So it's like I say, it's worth a go.
It still seems nuts.
Yeah, it's just because I think it's some little springs or something underneath underneath the thumbstick.
Yeah, but just
And as it's come away, they've just got too much
Nintendo,
movement. So putting that there, you've got that like firm fix again
well, just
underneath
make
the
them better
thumbstick.
then.
Well, yeah, which we said this about the new one that's coming out. Have the
Well, that's
fixed
what I'm
it?
saying.
Doesn't sound like they have, but
No, no.
um, yeah. Moving on anyway, because this is a big one, I think, and I know I've got a little piece to say about it. I'll say my piece, and then we'll chat about it. Yeah,
Okay.
don't pull weird faces at me. So this is
Why why have you got a pillowcase behind your head?
it's not a pillowcase, it's me jumper. It's
Oh,
too hot.
right.
It's too hot. I'll move it up. There you go. Just to suit you. Do you feel happy now?
You look like a member of a certain club. That's all at that time. So I just thought you better move
No. Okay.
it.
Moving on. So the earlier on this week we found out, and we've had this little discussion ourselves between you, myself, and another one of our little colleagues, is a Steam Deck from Valve.
Oh yeah.
So I've watched a couple of videos, read a few reviews. I think you've also mentioned the little uh, issues, I think we can call it, we're having with it. Now, one of the reviews, I'll do a little name drop because I don't want to pinch all his content, but it was a guy called Review Tech USA. Now, he's mentioned on there that there's the three different models, so we know that. They all run on the same CPU, GPU. All three models have got 16 gig of RAM. Both have the touchpad screens, same screen fidelity, blah blah blah. Yep. The
Yeah.
only difference is the cost and the size of the memory that's held on the consoles themselves. Now, we'll go through the three different ones. So obviously your base model is a 64 gig, not running on a solid state. That runs on something called eMMC, and that's coming in at £349. Now your next two models run on, correct me if I'm wrong, they both run on NVMe, which I think that is like a solid
NVMe.
state kind of drive, isn't it?
I suppose the other one. The other one is, but just the other one's like a flash drive.
Right.
The first
From what I've read, it's like the eMMC is very very slow. It's very clunky. It's not.
I'm gonna check while you're speaking, but I thought EMMC was
As far as I'm
like
aware,
a
it's
letter.
not solid state. So then the second model, which is obviously the next one up, is a 256 gig. As I said, that runs on NVMe, which is £459. The third model is a 512 gig, running again on NVMe, which is £569. Now, as I say, correct me if I'm wrong, but eMMC means that it's going to be running slower and struggle to run some of the more not most basic games, but like some of the games that most people are going to want to play on these things when it has a lot of like assets and stuff to load up. So kind of your sandbox games, your MMOs, stuff like that. It's going to kind of struggle. And yes, it's only
Okay.
64 gig, and you can increase the capacity of it, but we all know that an SD card can't. You could put as a 2 terabyte SD card in there or whatever you want in there. That's still not going to boost that enough to to play some of these games because they just can't read off the cards quick enough, can they?
Well, so you've got this issue. So I just checked, right? So your eMMC is solid state. It's flash.
Right.
It's
Okay.
flash memory. It's the same as what would be in a USB pen, right?
Right.
That's the same thing, right? And it's the same thing they used to use in like old school cartridges, like your Nintendo and stuff. That's what they used to have. It's that stuff's not better than an SSD hard drive.
Yeah.
An
No, of course
SSD
not.
hard drive, the way it still uses flash chips, still uses sort of the same chips and processors that's in there, but the way that it does it is far superior. So it's much quicker. Um, the NVMe is a directly connected board to your motherboard, um, which is the most superior
Yeah.
at the moment, as far as read write data and stuff like that. Apart from this active storage stuff that like Xbox and stuff have got going on, that's pretty much as close as you're ever going to get. That is the fastest stuff you can buy. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you with anything these days, though. Like, don't buy. I wouldn't go out and buy a tablet tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I'm just talking about a tablet. I would not buy a tablet with 64 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of memory. I just wouldn't bother because you'll fill that up in no time.
Yeah.
And I'll
That.
give you actually a prime example of what you're away to say, right? I have the Oculus Quest 2 VR headset,
Yeah.
right? Plays games just like the Steam thing would play games. There's a 64 gig one and there's a 128 gig one. I got the 64 as a second-hand purchase, and I've filled it up more than once.
But yeah, my thing I was going to say is, if I was going to go and buy a tablet or something like that, my first go to, same with phones, I always think, right, you know, can you put an SD card in it? Can you increase the capacity of it? Yes, okay, I'm going to buy the smaller model, yeah, because 9 times out of 10, that tablet, that phone, is the same thing as the bigger one, like the bigger memory one. It's just got more memory, but I know I can buy the memory cheaper elsewhere.
Yeah, the only caveat with that, with all of these devices,
Hmm.
is that software improvements, so anything to the Steam platform or the operating system that's been run on that thing, and I don't know what it is, probably Linux. Um, that's probably Windows actually. Um, is any of those installs, any of those updates, cannot be put on
Yeah, uh,
expandable storage.
yeah, but that's why you kind of keep that storage free on your on the main device and just try to use the memory elsewhere. Is that's all I was kind of getting at, kind of with that.
Yeah, I agree
It's
with you. I
just
just think
yeah,
it's too small. I don't know. I don't understand why if they've put a an M.2, which is this NVMe, if they'd put that on the board, then why not just put a 500 gigabyte one in? Why not put a terabyte one in?
yeah.
They're
So
not particularly expensive.
not no the thing that's going on and going around at the minute is people are saying, like, people are urging people not to buy the base model. It's a 64 gig, and because of the whole fact that the hard drive on it, not just because it's 64 gig, but because it's running on eMMC. That's the two big reasons, and everyone's just saying, even if you go to the shop or you go online, you try to pre-order it, or you're trying to buy it at the time, and it says they're out of stock, but we've got this base model. I said, don't do it, don't fall for it. I mean, for £349, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know how much an Xbox is these days, but you could go out and buy something like that. I know it's not handheld, which kind of might be the thing you're going for. I mean, or you could just buy a Nintendo Switch or something if you want to play some games on the go. Because to be honest with you, I think the new Switch is £50 less or £50 more than that.
350 for the new
The new
Switch.
the new one that's coming out. So there you go. It's the same price. So to be honest with you, I think you might even get more
Sure.
functionality out of the new Switch over that base model Steam Deck.
Well, so the comparable difference will be not what you can play, but the sort of thing you can play. So I wouldn't really say you can play that many, high caliber games on on the Switch.
Yeah,
Graphically, it's not the best console at all.
no.
Um,
This is the new
and
OLED
and and
screen, all that type of stuff. You'd
the
still say,
the OLED screen would help, but you can plug it into a TV and you can have an OLED TV and it's not going to do you much that many
No.
favors. It should never have had the screen that was on it in the first place. It should have always had an OLED. That's not going to necessarily make it better. And I'll give you a good reason for that. You want a more powerful console, handheld console that's more powerful than the Switch that has a better screen. We had one. It was called the Wii U ages ago.
Yeah.
No one bought it.
PS Vita even, that was a good
Yeah.
piece of kit. That was OLED
So,
screen.
so, so the only thing that Steam can do is offer you a portable machine that can play A-rated games.
Yeah.
Good games, quality games that you can play, right? But because it's Steam, it's not going to have the backend for Xbox console games, like the cloud storage games and stuff, which you can play at mega detail because they're not played on your console. Yeah, I've just had a look. It is Linux-based operating system and stuff, so the file size of that is a lot smaller
Right.
than what Windows would be. But I just don't think it's just not 64 gig. I mean, how many games can you install?
Well, I'll tell you now, any AAA games that are out now, you would get none on them. None would fit on it. Let's be
So
honest.
what's
There's
the
a lot of
point?
people. There's a lot
What's
of
the
people
point?
going to want to play something like your Call of Duty or something on there, don't they? That's one of the biggest selling games at the minute. And straight away, I can tell you now, it's a minimum of 80, 85 gig. Minimum. So, this is where, though, the Xbox Game Pass the xCloud would come in great.
Well, yeah. So in that scenario, right? You buy that device.
Yeah,
I guarantee this is what'll happen. People will buy that device. You'll probably uninstall SteamOS.
yeah,
You'll probably install either Linux on its own, or you'll install Windows.
yeah,
You'll run Steam like a normal Steam platform, and you'll use product if you can. You'll install the app and play games that way, or you'll just do it from a browser and play decent games
yeah.
that you don't even need to install. This is the bit with Steam, right? Steam could have done the same thing Xbox did and
Well,
destroyed the whole platform.
this was the next thing I was going to say. Do you think this is an opportunity now for them to go, right, we've got these little devices out now. We've got this massive library of games, and a good backing from not just the public, but developers and stuff like that. So do you think this is a kind of opportunity for them to go, let's do Project Steam Cloud?
Uh-huh. I think if they can afford to do it,
Yeah.
I think they'd be stupid not to.
I, I don't know what the situation is for Steam, but I've always looked at them as quite a big outfit. But I don't know. I don't know if that's true or
Oh, they must be. They must be huge. They've been on the go for so long. They sell so many games to everyone on the PC. If you play PC games, you buy them from Steam most of the time
yeah,
until like stuff's come, around now and stuff. They do provide servers and all this kind of good stuff. So, they're a massive company. I don't know what they actually let's have a look. Steam.
So while you're looking at that now, very quickly, I'm just gonna kind of if I put enough money in your hand and I said to you, right, handheld, you can buy one of these Steam, I forgot what it's called now, Steam Decks. You can buy one of these, or you can buy the new Switch, or you can buy an Xbox or a PlayStation. Kind of where I'm leaving PC out of this because PCs are. I think the PC is an always go to, isn't it? Really, because you can do them all then from there. But what would you rather get out of the four? If someone said, "Yeah, I will buy you one of those," you can only choose one.
I'm just gonna look at the Steam decks kind of specs.
Don't get me wrong, the Steam Deck, it looks pretty. I mean, have you seen the video of them when they're playing on it and they're using the two? There's like
Oh,
the
those
two little mouse touch pads.
it'll piss me off with the two analog sticks being
Yeah,
level.
they're so high.
I'm not a PlayStation player. I don't
The-
want them next to each other.
Yeah, but they're right at the top as well. I was
Yeah.
talking to someone the other day, and I said literally, if I was laid in bed or something like that, or I was trying to play, my hands are going to be at the top of this
Hands are going to
console.
be like over the screen.
It's gonna. You're holding on. You're nipping the top of it almost. You're gonna end up dropping it. But then there's these little touchpad mouse things. If you've seen them, the little square pads that are
Yeah.
meant to work really well.
In some of the stuff, I've got a feeling that I've just had a look there. So you can get the Steam Deck right for the 64 gig shitty storage for 349. You can
Yeah,
get it with 256 gig NVMe SSD for
459,
459, and then for 512 you can get it
569.
569 for 512 gigabyte. And they give you all this other shite to come with it.
He's thinking. He's
Your
thinking.
library.
Which? Come on. Which one would you go for?
Why do they say here that you'd be able to log in, your entire Steam library shows up just like in any other PC. You'd be able to find your collection favorites exactly where you left them, but not download them.
But not download them.
No, I mean like you'd have to download them.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a dock.
Is there? So
Yeah,
do you
there's
put
a
on?
dock.
Oh, I have seen that actually.
Official dock.
It doesn't. What I was watching a video the other day and I seen the guy. It looked like he just had it plugged in or something, and he was playing doing something on his PC.
While connecting to external displays, wired network, USB peripherals, and power. Yeah. Dock sold separately.
200 quid.
It doesn't even say, mate.
You still haven't answered my question, though. I'm not actually going to buy you one of these. You don't have to do some full-on research to try and try and warrant this.
So for me, the Steam Deck, you would have to buy the good one, like a decent one with a decent space in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're asking for trouble, right? For that price, I'd buy a console.
Yeah. I think I'm with you.
I'm not even for that price, I would buy a console. And okay, I have an Xbox, and people could call it bias, but no, I would buy an Xbox for that price because of XCloud, effectively. So you buy an Xbox console, you pay £11 or whatever it is, £10 a month for Xbox Unlimited Game Pass. That's it.
Yeah.
If you want to play it portable, most
Yeah.
people have got a phone. Most people have got a tablet kicking around with a better LCD. My tablet's like 3-year-old and it's got a better screen than the Switch has got.
Yeah. Well, PC now as well. Browser.
That's what I mean. So yeah, but for portability, right? So
Yeah.
for portability on the road, I've got the pad that I got off you that's got the clip for my phone. I can play Xbox games all day long.
Yeah.
World title in games, not a problem at all, right? You can still play all the other games that you would have played on your phone if you wanted to play those ones. There's other devices and stuff that you could use that would give you the same flexibility that maybe that would give you. You just have access to more games for so much less money.
Yeah. I still even think that as tempting and as good as this thing looks, I'm still tempted to kind of wait, see what happens and how well it sells, how well it does, find out the
But
little issues.
The one benefit they have is if you're already a Steam player.
Yeah.
If you're already, been playing Steam games for ages, you've got a good collection of games already on Steam, you don't have Xbox Game Pass, you don't have a console, you don't have these things, and you want to be a bit more portable, then yeah, buy that. I get it because you've already paid for the games, so you've already got them.
Okay, I'll put you in this scenario then, right? You've been a Steam player for years. I think you have been anyway. I don't know what the size of your library of games is, but if you didn't have any other console or anything else, and you looked at this, you're looking at I mean, 512 gig, right? And thinking, well, I know what I'd be thinking. Is that going to be enough? Are you going to be able? Is that going to play your games and the games you want to play?
No.
No. So
No.
that's
Like
that.
no.
that
If you have if it's got external storage, then you can bump this up pretty well.
yeah.
In all honesty, the first thing I'd be checking is if you can open it up and swap that out for a decent sized one. Um, the 512 one, I'd be googling to find out whether you can swap it out, because if you can, then I'd be buying. This is the stupid thing, right? I'd be buying the £349 one at 64 GB. I'd take the shitty memory out of it, and I'd put a NVM. Because let's face it, the NVMe will fit in it. They
Now,
just didn't bother putting in it.
as
You could
far
buy
as
one of
I'm
them.
aware, that 64 gig one does have an NVMe slot or
Yeah, of course it
a
does. It's the
part
same motherboard.
to put
Yeah,
it in. But they were
yeah.
saying that it's not the easiest thing to get to and not the easiest thing to do, and you could end up basically fucking the console up. Is it worth £349 to start stripping that thing down?
It's worth £349 to £569.
And how
Right.
much is it for
So
a?
you're
How much is it
200,
for a?
200 quid, right?
Yeah,
You can buy a terabyte NVMe for less than 100 quid,
right,
and you could pay someone £100 to fit it.
right, okay,
And a shop won't charge 100 quid to fit it,
right,
in my opinion. Especially with the whole, like, this new stuff with right to repair and all these kind of stuff. There's more shops opening up all the time with the ability to take stuff like this apart and fix them. And it won't take people that long to take one apart and fix it. These places now just buy one for the sake of it, take it apart and see what they can do. I guarantee you can upgrade the storage in it.
right.
In a decent NVMe. All you're doing is stripping it down to the motherboard. Once you get down to the motherboard, they slide in.
Right.
I think, did you not have an NVMe in yours?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I can't remember.
Your PC has an M.2. It's like a
It,
little.
it does, yes, it
It's like a
does. It
long.
does, it does,
It's like a
does.
long thing,
The
and you
long,
just
the
pop
long,
it.
the little blue, well,
Yeah,
the blue one,
yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah. You got a blue one, yeah.
By the way,
My
if
my.
everyone who's listening, I am no technical wizard with PCs and stuff. I don't have a clue, and I did build my own with a
You built your own.
with
It
a
was
bit of
fine.
help, bit of help from Mike, and a
Uh huh.
bit of YouTube and googling, but I
Uh huh.
managed it and I got there.
And you got there in the end, mate. You did it. It's all good. And you saved yourself some money by doing it that way.
Yeah,
Plus, if you ever get a problem, at least you're more equipped now to do something about
yeah,
it. My biggest problem I'm gonna say about Steam, right, is you have portable devices, you have switches and stuff, right?
yeah,
And you have your Xbox Cloud, right?
yeah,
The ability to take the same games that you can play on your PC removes a big factor of why that's gonna be even popular. Like there's a dock for it,
yeah,
right? Well, at the minute, you would take your Switch out, you go play some games or whatever. You come home, oh, I want to finish that game on the Switch. You stick it in the dock and you continue playing,
yeah.
right? But if you had a PC in the back that could play the same game that you were playing on your Switch,
Yeah.
would you not go to your PC to play it?
Probably not.
Why?
Why? See,
Yeah.
I like my home comfort. If that, I like to just sit down on my sofa, and
Right. So this
I,
this
I
explains this
this
ex no that's fine. That explains a lot for you with like you were very much console based person first,
yeah,
and then your handheld platform is console based, and then you eventually went to PC for other reasons other than just gaming.
yeah,
Fair to say. That is based off your Steam library.
right,
Your Steam library is not a person that used to do couch gaming.
yeah,
They're playing games from a PC, sat at a desk somewhere.
yeah.
They're not going to shelf their PC because you can plug that into your TV in your front room.
Oh no, no, definitely not.
So you lose like the whole half that you can plug it in is only relevant to like so many people. I'm not gonna do it. I would like if you bought me that today and I was playing a game on it out and about, and I came back, I went, oh, I want to finish off that game. I'd turn my PC on, I wouldn't plug that in.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been one of these type of people who've always said that I wish I could get a small enough PC, like a little Raspberry Pi type thing, that was more powerful. It was powerful enough, which we know they aren't powerful enough to do obviously what the one I've made does, but have it on my TV, because I've always been that person who wants to sit just in home comfort, sit in front of your TV, and have that ability. I mean, don't get
Yeah,
me wrong,
but,
I've got a
I mean,
very good setup here now, but
your PC's not that far away, mate. You could run an HDMI lead
it's still a good distance. That
through
like,
the wall. When you move house, next time you move house, we'll run an HDMI lead.
no, next time I move house, I'm just getting another Xbox and having it on this.
Oh, right, okay.
You know what I'm like. I'll just buy two Xboxes or three Xboxes. I'll have one in the bedroom, one in the front room, one in my PC.
I'm dubious.
Yeah, like I
Uh,
say,
it,
like I said, I want to
dubious
wait.
its ability. There's
I want.
no way. I'm not. No, no. I'm not even. There's no way that it's playing. Look.
I'm not going to buy it.
Zen 2 plus RDA 2 powerhouse delivering more than enough power to run the latest AAA games in very efficient power envelope. Right? Partnered with AMD, the Steam Deck's custom APU, that means graphics based processing chip, I believe. So the processor is doing the accelerated process unit APU.
Like,
So you still like it's the graphics side of it. What graphics card's it using?
yeah, it's going to change. It's going to convert it to 8-bit. We're going to be playing in 8-bit side scrolling. Call of Duty's just going to look like Minecraft.
See, so it is. So it's the basically the processor. So APU is what AMD call it. It's basically a processor with the graphics processor being within it.
Yeah.
So how like fair enough, they might be relevantly powerful. They're not going to be they're not going to be that much more powerful than your main computer behind you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to sell it. £349. You can't even buy if you wanted a decent graphics card, like a pretty good one.
You
You'd
talked
be
about
paying
that
that
for
much
one of
money
them,
just
aren't
for
you?
that, just for
Yeah.
the graphics card.
Yeah, like I say, I'm not going to be one of these people who buy. What I'm more like you said, you said dubious. I'm intrigued to see how many people buy it, what the reviews are like. I want to see all that, and then wait for this kind of review model where they'll release another model a little bit better or whatever, and then maybe take a look at it at that point. But as it stands with these three models at the moment, it's as I say in Dragon's Den, I'm out. Not my cup of tea. Right, shall we move away from Steam Deck anyway?
Yeah, I'll read up on it a bit
Should we?
more for next time, and I'll give another opinion of it. But
Yeah, that's fair enough. Basically, what have you been playing much this week?
I've been playing a bit of Valheim, our
Valheim,
game with our
Valheim.
own Valheim. I
Yeah.
don't know, may not matter. Um, I've been playing a bit more of that because we were playing it together, me, you, and Will. We've got our own server going for HCG, which is a private one at the moment. Whether that'll change in the future, I've no idea.
Mhm.
Um, and so I've been doing a bit more of that, getting us ready to go give the smackdown to Bone Mass.
Yeah.
It's cool. But figuring out that food and everything else is way more important in that game than life itself.
Yeah.
Um, and luckily enough for us, we didn't play that game when the updates broke it. Now the updates have fixed it. We're all good again.
Oh,
So
have we
we
had
were
have
quite
we had a
good.
window, have we, where it's broke some stuff, but we've managed to skip it, have we?
There was an update to reprogram the enemies to be more aggressive and it basically broke the game. People could stand next to trolls while they were smashing the living crap out of your house, and like they wouldn't fight you.
Right.
Like it totally broke it.
That might have been all right though. You might have been able to get kind of a bit of quite a bit of.
Trolls do well. No, so trolls. The main problem was the events when you're at your base and they sometimes appear.
Yes.
So you'd have three trolls appear. You'd run out to go. Normally, you'd run out to go and like approach them, and they'd chase after you, and you'd run away, right? And if you wait long enough, they'll disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens if they don't? They just run to your crops,
Ah, right.
run to your house with all your stuff in it, and start laying waste to it, and you can't do anything about it but watch.
Right.
You could try to kill them quick enough, which is fair enough. But if you're not, leveled or ranked or in that way or whatever, then you've got a bit more of a problem to deal with.
Fair enough.
So there's some weird stuff going on with it, and then basically now there's a new update went out, and they've toned it down a bit. They'll do it more accurately now. So effectively now, people they still are more aggressive than they were,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll prioritize players over objects,
Right.
unless that object is in between them and the player.
So can you, what's the word? What's the word? And I'm trying to get. Can you kind of pull them away? Can you hit them and pull them away? Pull them away
You
from
can
objects.
completely kite them. Yeah,
Yeah. Right. That's good.
yeah,
That's good.
kite's the term. But yeah, basically, you don't even need to shoot them, mate.
Right. Just
If
getting
you
into
if you
them.
walk even remotely close to them, they will come for you and
Yeah.
not go for it. Which is more along the lines of what they should do. I'd probably say it's a little bit um
I
OP
I think
that how they come for you because I was like you can be hidden behind shit and they still like come for you because they kind of just know where you are.
yeah. When you're
Uh,
mining like is it the tin? I can't remember. Is it the tin or iron or whatever it is? Yeah.
the
You're mining.
irons and the crypts.
When you're mining those, when the ones that are outside, and then
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
yeah, that used to do amazing because as soon as you start mining that, for some strange reason it was basically the moment you swing an axe at that stuff, you're gonna have
You pull everyone.
trolls coming after you. You're gonna have
Yeah.
bloody shamans, whatever they're called. They're coming for
Yeah.
you. Yeah, but I suppose
All that kind of shit. But to
yeah,
be honest, now
the better we've got, the higher level we've got, the more equipment and stuff we've got. Obviously, the easier it's been, hasn't it? So
the more equipment you get, you start unlocking food better. Now we can actually make okay food, and it is like a game changer because you've got more stamina, so you can run away more, you can fight more, you can block more. You've got more health to take hits and stuff, which is great, and it actually lasts longer, so you're not spending more time eating,
right,
which is great. Doing crypt runs for iron at the moment, and they're much faster because you have more stamina, so you can mine much quicker and more effective, and your stamina comes back quicker and all this kind of good stuff.
that's good.
So that's
I
great.
know the last time I was on, we were literally running in and out of those crypts in the swamps, like in and out
Yeah.
very quickly. Not we didn't really fight much in the swamp because there's some big nasty fuckers in there, but
The ooze stuff kills you like so quickly, even with good health.
have you found out what that little dodgy Grim Reaper thing is yet?
He's exactly that, a reaper.
Is that he is a Reaper?
Yeah,
Yeah, that thing's
like a
horrible.
wraith kind of thing. Um, Apparently they they appear near like buildings
Right.
during the night or whatever like that. But if anyone is watching, everyone at that point after they've killed the second boss and they move over to the crypts in the what's the place? Can't remember
The
the area.
swamps.
Swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people have talked about like issues with finding enough iron and all this kind of good stuff. So the best way to do it is that go to one of the swamp areas that's like that you can find. If it doesn't seem like it's a good area, just do a couple of crypts until you find where bone mass is. So you get one of the little shrines you can click on and it'll give you the location of bone mass. And then effectively head to bone mass. You don't have to fight him, but the crypts that are around him apparently have a lot more in them,
All right, that's
a lot
cool.
more
That's
iron
good to know.
deposits than anywhere else. So it's kind of pointing you in the right direction if that makes sense. Yeah, stock up with food, use teleporters as best you can to like, save your bacon if you die. Um, and the other one is there's poison resistance potions you can make. They're not particularly expensive, and basically oozes do nothing to you if you have one of them on. They last like 10 minutes when you put one on. So
Yeah.
put one
Portals have always been key as well in that game. Definitely.
portals are mega key. Always take
To
a portal
shift
with you.
to
Always
shift
have a
around.
spare portal back. You know that it's not connected. Numbering them like Craig's sold me before, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, is pretty the simplest way to do things.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, portaling. Always take a portal with you if you're going exploring or whatever. Drop it down in case you're going into somewhere and you're gonna die or whatever. You can dig a hole and put one in one. You can do all sorts with them that they don't get broken, which is easy enough.
Hmm.
There's obviously other tricks as well, which is whether you agree with them or disagree with them. So the whole, you can't go through a portal with iron, so therefore logging out, going to a different world, repairing, putting your iron in is something that I'm going to say 90% of people probably do
Yeah.
in Valheim because it's such a burden to actually take that stuff away. So you effectively have another world with some chests and a repair station and blah blah blah, and you teleport to that one, or you log out, log into that one, drop all your iron off, repair everything, go back into your normal world, and then you're back in the crypt. You can carry on,
Yeah.
and then you can transport it out later date. I'm finding out now that we're doing it the other way around. A lot of people actually teleport into a world where they do the mining and don't mine in their own world.
Right.
The reason for that,
I have seen because you can get the different seeds. Do you know where
yeah,
so I've got
yeah,
a seed where we've got the shopkeeper.
the shopkeeper, yeah,
I've seen seeds where there's a lot
yeah,
more kind of iron deposits kind of close
yeah.
by and stuff like that, and a lot of yeah. So I've
So
seen
you can do
those
it that way.
seeds, so you can go in them and yeah, you can go in and out
Yeah.
and do
The
whatnot.
other the other one with that, which is again, like I say, it is a little bit cheaty, not cheaty, whatever you want to call it. Um, is when you're getting beaten up and kind of dying. Um, you got 4 or 5 people in a crypt trying to kill you and you're struggling. Log out.
Yeah,
Log out. Log into your other world. Heal yourself up.
yeah.
Log back into that one and go again. You'll still be right next to you wherever you were, but you can get all your health back,
Hmm.
and you're not dying, and you're saving a bit of time and stuff like that. And I think these tips and tricks that are there, if you're a hardcore gamer on that game, and you have the time, then you might do it, the way it was intended. But if you're not and you're playing it, when you can, like we do, you don't have the time to be running stuff around for miles just for the sake of it. So,
Aye.
but good
So
game.
yeah,
Oh,
so for those that obviously that don't know, obviously the game was Valheim. Now that's PC only at the minute. You might want to get a Steam Deck and play it on there. Eventually, who knows
probably
if
play
it'll
well
handle
on
it?
there.
But I don't know. It's quite taxing considering the graphics aren't the best. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's basically you play as a Viking survival game. It's good. It's quite enjoyable. Take a look at that one. So I'll tell you, have you been playing anything else this week or since we last recorded, or is it just kind of just that?
I've been playing more VR stuff.
Right?
Um, I played
Is your missus caught you yet?
playing VR. Oh, no, I wasn't playing that kind of VR. Although Pornhub do have a section. Um, no, I've not been doing that. Um, what was I playing? Don't think I remember
I don't know. I
actually.
can't answer. Are we talking
No,
console here? Are we talking PC? Oh,
oh no, on the
you said
VR,
VR,
VR.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Sorry, VR.
I played
Yeah.
a game called I Expect You to Die. That was you're effectively a spy in certain situations, and you have to try and figure out how to survive or do the mission or whatever. It's a bit like escape. Feels a little like an escape room sort of
All right.
vibe to it.
When you first said it, I thought you were going to kind of go like Hitman type of thing, but yeah,
No,
escape room. Just
It's
get
more
out of
like
the room basically before you die.
it's not
Or
it's not even get out of the room. Like do the objective, whatever the objective would be.
right.
But it's quite clever. It's quite unique. It feels quite unique because you obviously have to use your hands and everything else. So it's kind of cool. It's very funny. It's very funny driven. The first one, I was in a car and you had to get the car out of the airplane, and there's like pieces of paper around all over telling you information about this car, and you got to like think about what you're trying to do, and you pick up different items, and you're like, what the fuck? Like basically, what am I going to use this for? And then you end up trying to realize, oh, I can start the car, and then you start the car, and then this bloody eye retina thing appears and identifies you as not the driver, and then a bomb appears, and you have to cut the wires on the bomb. And if you haven't found if you haven't found the knife to cut the wires in the first place, you're kind of screwed. And two, if you haven't found the bit of paper that kind of it didn't actually explain how to cut the wires,
Just
but
gives
it
you
showed you
some
how to wire
clues.
the bomb up
All right. Okay.
in what order to wire it up. So I
So you
just did
go
it
in
backwards.
reverse. Yeah.
I just did it in reverse, and it was okay. And it starts building you up, and you start realizing more stuff. And I've been stumped at some of them, and I'm like, oh, get up to that point, die, run out of time or something, or like something would overload, and you're trying to stop it. I don't even know. I can't think of what it is that's gonna protect, like what's gonna work in this one at all. And then eventually, it just clicks that it was like something you've already used. You could reuse in a different way or whatever like that. So it's pretty fun. I enjoy that. There's no motion. You don't travel anywhere. You don't drive anywhere. It's all within. You can do it. It's all actually seated as well.
Right. Okay.
You actually genuinely sit in a chair and play that game.
Right.
Which is one of the only. It's not the only game that it has that. A lot of games have seated modes, but that game is designed to be sat. You don't have to. You can stand up, but it looks a bit weird because the game thinks you're in a chair. So it's a bit
Right.
weird. But it's kind of cool. Um, the two games that I'm looking at the moment, which one of them I'm playing just out the sheer joy of trying to play it on VR, is Sniper Elite or Elite
All
Sniper,
right. Yeah.
Elite Sniper
Is
VR.
this is this
Um,
is, I was gonna say, is this like number one, or is it just a VR version of it? Or
it's a VR version of it, but I'd probably say it's more similar to number one
right.
graphically than anything else. But it has all the same game features in it and stuff like that. And I thought actually having a first-person shooter game that's well thought out, well developed, and has that back in would be quite fun. I've played a little bit of it, and so far, it's actually quite enjoyable. Um,
Cool.
but the last one I might move on to, and I don't know if you want to bring this up on a screen.
Um,
If you can,
I can't at the
can't.
minute.
Okay, fair enough.
Not properly, but
Okay, just a new game came out a couple of days ago.
right.
It's called A Township's Tale. Okay, and
Right.
it's an open world multiplayer VR RPG game. And the best way I can explain it is it's a bit like Valheim
Right.
crossed with Dragon Quest, sort of along the lines of.
Right. Okay. So it's like turn-based fighting, or
No, it's full blown
right.
Crackman
Hack and
fighting,
slash.
hack and slash game with builder elements. Magic. You got magic, swords, weapons, all this kind of stuff. But
Mhm.
you've got crafting. You've got craft up your base and all this, like build your own base and stuff like this.
And
You
for
can
those of you
do.
that didn't know, after 4 episodes now, that Mike likes his crafting games.
I like games that you make stuff, yeah, for sure. But what's quite unique that I've seen so far is obviously in these sort of games, normally, hitting someone with an axe, hitting someone with a sword, casting a spell is all relative because you're just pressing a button. In this, you're not. You actually have to pull the bow back. You actually have to hit them with a sword. You actually have
Mhm.
to do those things, right? That's how VR's come across before. But in this, if you want to go and create a new weapon, you have to actually go to an anvil and actually make the weapon in the game.
I can just picture you
Uh,
now in your house,
yeah, yeah, like
whacking,
blacksmithing and stuff. Yeah,
whacking,
mate. Yeah,
swinging
yeah,
your arms around.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And like chopping trees down, you have to actually go and like chop them down with your hand and everything. Well, not your hand with an axe, but in your hand, in the game. It's very cartoon looking. There's no legs on the characters; they're all floating,
All right.
which
Okay.
might be good for some people, might not be good for some people. Um, think they probably just made the decision that it looked really lame trying to get people to walk in VR. But it's new out. It looks pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm hoping that I convince someone else like Greg or Will to pick themselves up a VR headset and play something like this with us, because I think it'd be actually a lot better together. But if not, I'll just find some friends online.
You sound like you're trying to say we're not your friends or something, or we just, we're just bullying you or something almost. Because
No, you don't have a VR headset.
I know, it's that's how I felt.
If you had
It's
one,
alright.
you would play it.
We'll see. We'll
Well,
see.
we need to check.
When
We need
I
to
see
check
you.
your motion sickness out
Yeah.
next week. But
Yeah,
I'll
well,
have this game. I'll have this game installed. Well, that's one of the other things to actually point out, I suppose, is that I have it on the Quest, Quest 2, and it fully installs on the Quest, so it's a portable game.
right, okay.
It's not requiring you to have a PC or anything like that,
Alright, great.
which is neat. Which is neat.
Right, so
Other than that, no. What you
yeah,
been playing?
as I say, I'll move on. I'll tell you what. So basically, obviously, on my Switch, I've been playing on Mario Golf, which is it's alright. It's quite fun. You can only play for so
I've heard
long
this.
because it's just golf. So
Yeah.
I've been playing a bit of that. I bought Dragon Quest Stories 2, which is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's kind of
No, but on the Xbox though.
not Dragon Quest. Sorry, Monster Hunter Stories 2. Sorry.
Okay,
So
good
yeah,
correction.
it's
It's that good. You forgot the name.
yeah. I've been playing all sorts. Trying to remember. So Monster Hunter. Do you know? You obviously we
Monster
played
Hunter.
Monster.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. A little bit more tamed down. But it's because there's more of a campaign, more of a story mode to it. So there's reasons why you're going out and you're fighting certain things and doing these kind of fetch quests, that type of
Okay.
stuff, all that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you get the whole, you fight these monsters, you get its pelt, you get its different, chop off different parts of it and stuff. But it's turn based rather than hack and slash. Build your
All right.
armor up,
Oh,
all that
best.
type of stuff. But it's campaign based more than anything with side quests and stuff. So that's kind of fun. I enjoyed that. I've been playing quite a bit of that. There's actually a trial on the Switch if anybody's got a Nintendo Switch out there, so you can get a free trial, which is quite hefty. And give it a go. Again, I've been using my little HoriPad Split Pros on there, so that's been quite good to have them, using them. And then moving on, I've been playing on the Xbox, so we went old school, and I've been playing Halo 3 multiplayer. Yep. Been playing with that with one of our mates. So
I didn't get an invite, but never mind.
that was the night you were on playing Valheim, and I said I was busy that
What's this?
night.
What's this about, friends?
I've got more than two friends, unlike you, No, I've been playing a bit of Halo.
If you've got friends qualities and you're watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. So there's I'll tell you the story of our little Halo night anyway, very quickly. So basically, it started off, went into the game, didn't have a clue what I was doing, couldn't remember anything. Got my ass handed to me. I think I got 1 kill in the first game, 2 kills in the second game, 4 kills in the third game, and it just went up from there. And then eventually, obviously, started getting like MVP stuff like that. So it comes back. It was good. I enjoyed it. But there is some absolute beasts out there in that game who've probably been playing that game ever since its release and are still playing it to this date.
Yeah.
So no, I enjoyed that. I played a bit of Call of Duty Cold War.
Yeah.
I was playing on that late on last night and introduced one of our friends, Reedy, to the Breakout, is it called?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I introduced him to that because I said, have you played the zombie mode? He's like, yeah. And I said, no, have you played this one, the Breakout one? He said, no. So I put it on for him. He had a little go and he said, this is class. He said, I can't believe they made a game like this. I said, no. So I said that you have to come on one night because you're a little bit more, you have a little goal. I'm just quite happy running around like an idiot, just shooting zombies in the head and twatting them in the head when
Yeah,
I need
okay,
to.
yeah.
Type of stuff. I don't care what I do in that game because you can basically do anything as long as your end goal is you eventually kill the boss and move on. Doesn't really matter. Whereas you kind of
No,
you're
you're right. You're right. I
you're
mean,
the
it
sensible
does.
one in the game.
There's just
You were like, right, we need to do this
certain
upgrade now. We need to do this
certain
now.
steps certain steps to do. Otherwise, you're gonna struggle
I'm
later
like,
on.
fuck that, get the dogs.
Yeah,
Get him, twat him.
yeah. Greg just wants the next level to come as quickly as
I'm
possible,
not too
and
bothered about the next level. I just want to run around
no,
and
that's what I
shoot
mean. Like the
things.
next, you want to shoot more things, so you trigger things to happen, and it's like
Yeah,
overwhelmed without the weapons to do anything about it. It's like, oh well.
yeah. So I was playing that, but you know what I'm like with my indie games and stuff like that. I just like to find that little niche game that's on like Game Pass or something like that. So I've been playing a game called The Wild at Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how can I describe this game if you've not played it and try and sell it to you? So you play as a young lad. Basically, he goes into this. I don't know how to explain this at all. Like in some kind of weird land, and then it's like he's looking for I think he's looking for his way back or something like that. Basically, what you do is you run around. There's a lot of puzzle type things to solve, like things to move, areas to get to, but you can't get past that area because what you need to do is you need to um, hatch or make these little things called spritlings. So picture what's that thing that was on the Wii? You know that them little, I can't remember what you call them now.
Well, like Pixie,
Yeah,
Pixel.
yeah. You know, I think you know what I'm getting at. So like these little tiny little creature things, and basically there's different types of ones that do different types of things. So you get fire ones, obviously good. You can throw them into fire and it can destroy fire blocks. Ice ones can do the ice. If you throw one that's fire at the ice, it just turns into a big ice block, and you get this kind of like super Hoover thing that hoovers them up, and you know they break out the ice and stuff, and you've got them, but they eventually do die. And you have to collect certain resources to make more. But the only one of the ways you can do it is you can keep kicking these things on the side, like these look like plants. You can kick them and get the resources out of them, or you can throw your spritlings on it that plow through them dead quickly, and you can get more.
Okay.
So you kind of you first start out by going to collect loads of resources so you can get more. So there might be a boulder that says you need 40 spritlings in order to move this boulder. So you start off with like 10. Then you get resources. It might cost you 1,000 of these resources to get carry 5 more, and so
Okay.
on. And
Yeah.
you keep building up, and then you can move that rock, and then that rock, you've got that out of the way. You've got 40 of these spritlings, and you move on. There might be a little boss in there you've got to kill, and it's just a bit like that. And I'm very close now to finishing that. I've quite enjoyed it. I'm not selling it very well. I know that,
No,
but
no, I think it
but it's
sounds good.
it's just one of these
Good
little,
mechanic.
yeah. It's one of these games where I think you've not really played it. I'm trying to think. There's a game on the Wii, and they've just re-released it on the Switch, and I can't think what it's called. When you said like the sprites, I'm trying to think what that game was called. It's kind of a very similar mechanic to that.
What, the one you were talking about, the Pixie one?
Yeah. So it was a game that's just not long ago released on the Switch, and it was a massive game. It was on GameCube. It was a massive GameCube game. And you were like this little spaceman, and you controlled all these little, and I can't remember what they were called. These little like space creature, like little plant type of creature things. I can't remember what they were called now.
Yeah, but it was like Pixel or
Yeah,
Pixie or something like that.
something weird. But anyway, it's a bit like kind of that similar concept, but on a bigger scale. A lot more puzzles, a lot more things to do, a lot more things to fight. But yeah, I've been enjoying that. Other than that, I think that's kind of. Oh, I played a little bit of Minecraft as well with my daughter. So she loves her Minecraft. I'm not the
Nice.
best. I'm not the best at it, not in comparison to her, but I do enjoy it. But other than that, that's all I've been playing. Yeah. So, have you got any? What's our plans for this week then? Are we Valheiming it up again at some point?
Yeah, I think we're ready to do some more mining in that area. Iron is a pain in the hoop. Um, we've made some stuff, but we need to make some more.
Right.
I've got you. Yeah, we had quite a lot, but put it in this perspective. It takes 100 and what is it? 24. I think it's like 60 to get your armor pieces,
Right. I remember
and
seeing. I
then
remember
like
seeing last
another
time I was on.
20 for like more than that, and then upgrading stuff. So the pickaxe you get, but you need to. It's 20 for the pickaxe, but then it's 5 to upgrade it the first tier, and then you want to upgrade it again, which is another 20 on top of that.
Right.
And then you've got all the other stuff. So we've managed to get the forge upgraded and stuff like that as well. So I made a pickaxe. I made another one for Will after he'd went off, so I got some more iron anyway.
Yeah.
Make you one. Um, he's he I made so apparently one-handed weapons, the mace is the best weapon to use. Um, so I made a mace and a shield. Will made a mace and a shield as well, and I think an armor piece or two. So my plan is to probably get some more this week, even when maybe you guys are not playing. I'll try and get some more so we're kitted out.
Yeah.
Um, I'm probably gonna give you the mace and shield that I have,
Right.
and the only reason why is because I want to try something with it, like there's some two-handed stuff.
Right. Okay.
So I tend to use bows a lot. So I've been using my bow. I've got like my bows, the fine wood bow, which is the one before the iron one,
Hmm.
but it's fully maxed out. So it's actually the same level as a level one iron bow.
Right. Okay.
So I'll probably give that to someone and make an iron bow and make a two-handed weapon instead. And I'll have a go with a two-handed one and a bow. That you guys can don the shields and stuff since you seem to be pretty good with that last time. So
Aye. No, well, that's fine. Crack on, we'll
basically
do that.
we just need to be kitted out, get all that gear, got everything ironed up, and I would probably say upgrade it all, which is going to cost us a bit and take a bit of time considering there's three of us on the same server trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, get all of this stuff done. We're getting more food in the area that we are, and we're growing more food, so that's good. And then yeah, once we've got all that stuff, we should be able to take on bone mass.
Cool.
Once we kill bone mass, after bone mass, you then go to the mountain biomes, I believe,
Oh.
and that's
Yes.
where you got wolves and all this kind of good stuff to be careful
Yes.
of.
I remember them.
And I think you move into the silver era, I believe.
That'll be good. Be cool.
So, but and the boss in there is a dragon.
Right.
Can't remember his name. But anyway, yeah, I think that's what
Yeah.
we'll do. So that should be quite good.
I think my goal for the week is obviously I want to get on there with you and we'll sort through all that. I want to finish The Wild at Heart because I'm so close to the end of that and I know I am. I do want to crack on with Valhalla at some point as well.
Uh-huh.
And possibly late on a night when I'm in bed, I'll be playing some more Dragon Quest stories. I think
Cool.
Monster Hunter stories. I said it again. And I like.
I do.
I want to rewind very quickly back a few minutes ago. The name of the game we were thinking of was called Pikmin.
Pikmin. There we go. I knew it was
Pikmin.
Pikmin.
Yeah, we were close.
Um,
Pikmin.
what was I gonna say? I am so. Two things. One, I'm waiting. Obviously, we've got this month. We have Flight Simulator coming out
Oh
on the
yeah,
console,
27th. 9 days from now.
so that'd be pretty cool. I think I prefer it with the pad and all that kind of good stuff, and it probably play well.
Yep.
So I'd like to get on that with you at some point. Um,
Oh, there's a game you need to try. While I remember, sorry, Hades.
Hades. Okay.
Hades, have a go on that. That's on the Xbox Game Pass now. I've not had played on it yet, but that won a lot of, if not most, Game of the Year awards.
No, I
It's
think you told me
meant to be
about it.
brilliant. Yeah, rogue
Sure. You
style
told me.
game. But yeah, we need to try that. There's another one coming out on the 28th. I'm trying to think what game it is.
Dungeon Crawler video. Okay,
Is it
cool.
the Ascent? I think it's the Ascent. The Ascent's out on the 28th as well. Which is I think that's the one that's a bit like kind of cyberpunk, but Diablo-esque, that type of view, where it's not top down, it's not quite, side, it's that, weird angle.
The Ascent, yeah,
Yeah,
29th comes out.
the 29th is it? Yeah, I knew that was this month as well. So we've got two there. We've got Flight Simulator, which we're going to obviously play on that and have a chat about. We have played that on PC, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be a lot easier to play on
Yeah,
the console. And the Ascent, I think the Ascent's going to be a good one. I think that's going to be a brilliant game.
yeah, I agree with you. I have a game that I also want to get on my VR headset that's coming out on the 29th. That's called Arksmith. Um, it's a puzzle space. It's a puzzle space game, but basically you're like a space engineer with a kind of master assembler, and there's
Hmm.
like basically some people are coming over to like destroy your planet, and you're on a space station, and you've got this other dude who's kind of explaining to you what you need to do, but effectively you have a table in front of you, and you have to like plug electrical components together to make
Right.
like weapons and make stuff, but you just have a massive components and no real like full blown guidance of what you have to try and plug together to make work and stuff. You just have to figure it out yourself. So it seems
All
pretty
right.
fun. Um, so I won't have that while I'm down, but
So I know you're coming down on, is it the Friday? Is it? How long are you down for? Just out of curiosity.
down for the week until the 29th.
Oof. Right. So I think if we can, we might get another recording done this coming Wednesday. I know that's only in a few days' time,
Yeah.
but if we can do another recording Wednesday, and then we can do another recording after you're back that following weekend, I think
Hmm.
might be a good shout, because then that'll give us a good chance to look at some VR for myself,
Yeah,
test
we'll
that
get
out,
feedback.
yeah, and then I can air my opinions when you've gone and tell you how shit it is, and it's gonna throw up, and I'm gonna joke.
I do have one other thing, and that is a challenge that I would like to throw down um, on Trailmakers.
Right, okay.
Now, I know Will's not really played it that much.
Mhm.
I have another mate who's just bought a Xbox Series S,
Yes.
Game Pass and everything, so he now has Trailmakers, and I showed him it, and he's interested in it. And he's also interested in possibly playing games in the back end while we're recording, which is cool.
Right, okay.
Like with those like chatting and stuff, like he's cool.
Yeah.
He's playing GTA quite a lot at the moment, which I'll probably jump on with him and play a bit of GTA.
It's funny actually,
Uh,
because Kurt, who we play with as well, Jammy, he's been
yeah,
doing a lot of GTA, and
yeah.
he's mentioned it as well.
So I wouldn't mind getting on GTA. So that
There's
was one of the things
a few good
that
new
if you want to
heists and
play some
stuff.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be good to get him involved and get him playing as well. But on the Trailmaker side, there's people like Will and my mate Grant that have not done any of the campaign, and I think the campaign's good, and I think it would be a good recording session to do with get people who remember you had to collect all the different items. Me
Yes.
and you
Yeah.
did it for a bit.
Yeah.
You have to connect all the different ones. But separately to that, lots of people do make up their own like mini games in it. So there's like a BattleBot arena, and you have to go on and make a BattleBot each, and try and fight each other, and we'll play a couple of rounds together. There's
Right.
an area where you can there's a ball and two goals you have to try and score, or there's like King of the Hill. Those are like the inbuilt games, but lots of people do like make their own games up or races up in it, and you have to try and make your own vehicles based on different rules that you've come up with and stuff like this. And I watch other people do it. I think it's great. I think it's good fun, and I think we'd have a bit of a laugh out of it if we tried a couple. So we'll have to sort something like that out at some
Oh
point.
yeah, it'd be a good laugh.
Since it's a game, it's on Game Pass. Why not?
Yeah. I've got another one on the Game Pass actually as well. I think would be quite fun to play, and I think it's quite funny when you watch people streaming it. So you've got Gang Beasts.
Okay.
and Human Flatfall. Now I've played a bit of Human Flatfall. Now Gang Beasts is very similar, like your twin stick, moving your different arms and this, that, and the other, like grabbing. I think we played the delivery one. That very similar. So it's all that kind of similar stuff. But with if we can get a few people on that, that would be quite cool. So a couple of your mates, anybody else who wants to play, welcome to join. I think it'll be a good laugh. A couple of recordings on there. We'll strip it down to some funny moments and stuff, and
Yeah,
good.
that's cool. Yeah.
Have a good
Yeah.
laugh.
The other thing, and I'll say it on stream because I don't see why not. Is I think some of the stuff we do on games in general we should probably stream more of.
Yes, yeah,
Stuff like Valheim and these things that we're doing. I don't see why not. Seems to be a good
yeah.
laugh. Seem to have some good fun with it, and
Oh yeah, the last recording I did was quite funny. I do remember that very well. When we boxed you in, burnt you alive.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll sort that out anyway. Other than
Good.
that, I think we're hour 10 minutes in. I think we'll call it a night.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Sounds good.
yeah, this is episode
Good getting
4. Name to follow.
Yeah, fair enough.
After a bit of deliberation.
Um,
Yeah, I'm Craig. You can catch me on Xbox, social media under Z Crisis 2.
the tag's below. You're in it.
It is, yes. It's I wish I should have went like that and then should have made it come in. Some crazy noise. If I could be asked with the editing, I'd do it, but
uh,
just being lazy.
fair
It's
enough.
there. It's there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm Mike. Mine is also below. Iron Mike too. With the correct spelling. He.
Yeah.
Yeah. Join us. Invite us. Whatever. We like playing games with people, so why not?
Yeah. Right. Thank you for listening. I'll catch you later.
Yeah. See ya. Cheerio.